Okay, so what I'm going to show you in this video is how to save all your assignments, including drawings and such, as one giant PDF file in a really fast way. It's better to convert your files to a PDF or to a JPEG to reduce the size of them. So when they do go into Acrobat, they are smaller file size. Plus you also don't lose stuff that way. Anyway, I'm going to share the screen. Now I'm all tiny in the corner. All right, let me see if I can make that a little bit better. All right, so I'm down there now. All right, so this is what we got going on. I'm in Photoshop right now. I'm going to save my Photoshop file. We're going to pretend this is a finished project that I did, which it's not quite finished, but it doesn't matter, right? So we want to include this, or we could pretend it's one of my drawings, because I might take the drawing into Photoshop and crop it and, make it centered, because you might want some sketches in there. So I'm going to go, definitely include sketches. If you have computer sketches or mood boards, include those also. I'm going to hit save as, and what's going to happen is once I convert it to a JPEG, it's not going to read, it's going to have a background on it. I think my background might end up being black, because right here the background color is black, so we'll find out. So save to computer. I'm going to save it to this new folder I just made called Test Acrobat, and we're going to do PS test frog. All right. So it's a Photoshop file, which I'm not going to want. I'm going to want to save to a JPEG or a PDF. And in this case, you'll see that there is Photoshop PDF, that type of thing. So I'm just going to go to JPEG for now. JPEG's good. Or hit OK. Then I'm going to run over to Illustrator real quick. And I'm going to make sure all my Illustrator files are saved the way I want. This is my title page. You're going to want to put a title page together, because you're going to want that in the front, describing who you are, what class you're in. I'm just pick the class name. It could be any, I don't know what a class is watching this. I'm just kind of making one up right now for you. Put my name on it, 2020 fall, midterm, and then, throw some colors up there, gradients, patterns or whatever. And then I'm going to go to, you can even make that in Photoshop. And I'm going to go to save as. And if I save as, I can save it as a PDF right here. I can save it into that file. I'll hit save. Everything's good. It says preserve Illustrator editing capabilities. I'm going to hit no. I don't want that. All right. And the reason why I don't want that is because it's not necessary. I just, want to save it as a PDF. I don't want to ever open it again in Illustrator, because I have my own separate Illustrator file that I am saving for it. Okay. Keep extra files. One with Illustrator, one that's just a flat PDF or JPEG. So I'm going to hit save, and then I hit OK on this window that says saving this document with preserved Illustrator editing capabilities. Uncheck may disable some editing features. That's totally cool with me. All right, then I'm going to close this off. I'm going to make sure I save all my projects. This one, I'm going to go to file. We're going to pretend it's one of the projects, right? So I'm going to go to file, export instead of save as. So you can see when you export it, you can actually export with a JPEG. I've had students have issues with JPEG exports from Illustrator in the past, where it might change and put lines on things, sometimes white lines around stuff. It does some weird things sometimes. We'll find out if it does this time. Photoshop, Adobe is always updating stuff. So let's just go with this. So I'm going to hit OK. So I have all my files saved in that folder, right? So I'm going to go ahead and open up Adobe Acrobat DC. It used to be called Adobe Acrobat Pro. So applications. Where's that? Lost it. It's here. It's like gray and something. There it is, Adobe Acrobat DC. All right. That is for another school. I don't know why that's open. It's very weird. All right, anyway, I'm going to go to tools. And I'm going to go to, you could do create PDF, combine files, organize. I think when you first open it, it opens it up in home. So this may be confusing, because it's going to open up in home and you're not going to see everything. So I think the default is it opens up in home. Apparently I was doing something before and I didn't close all that off, and I should have. That's okay. We just had to submit grades for a whole nother school. Anyway, I want you to hit tools from home, okay? And from there, you're gonna hit combine files, and you're gonna hit add files. You could drag and drop all your files in, or you can find them all. So this is up to you. I'm gonna hit add files, and I'm gonna come over here to 2020 fall and test Acrobat, and I'm going to open up all these. I'm going to select every single one. I click down, highlighted them all, hit add files. The thing is, now I have to put them in the order that I want them in. So I'm going to take this guy, I'm going to scoot him on over here, and we're going to say this is project 1, because we're just pretending at this point. This is project 2, and it's always smart to try to keep all your files like the same height and width, or proportionate, because when you open them certain ways, it will not open the way you think. Now, when I open it into full screen mode, everything's fine. But when I open up just regular scrolling mode, you're gonna see itsy bitsy files and very big files. To solve that issue is you'd want them to all have the same resolution, and you'd want them to be the same size going across, same amount of pixels. And then that should solve the problem where it's all the same, then all of a sudden, unless you open it in full screen, then it doesn't matter. But it might matter to you. So we'll pretend this is a sketch. So maybe I want my sketches last, so I'll bring that one over there. And then everything looks perfect, right? So just hit combine. And it is done for us. That is it. So when I go drawing for designers, I go down, you'll see my frog one. See what I'm talking about? That file is also an itsy bitsy, right? And this one's medium, itsy bitsy. But when I open up into full screen mode, none of that actually matters. So it depends on the person who's opening it and how they're opening it. So you do want to keep in mind that, because you may want to keep them all the same. So going all the way across, all the pixels the same, would probably be better. Let's see if we go to, but this is good enough for what I want, right? Because what I'll do is you just come over here and you hit, let's see what we got here. No. I'm gonna go up to view, full screen mode. And what happens is, remember all those size differences, they don't matter any longer, right? It doesn't matter if it gets bigger. Does it matter to you? It doesn't matter to me. That's just got a different size. It didn't matter to me. So all your stuff is in one big document. All you do is drag and drop them in, or find them all in one giant folder. And everything seems to work out really nicely. When I flattened it, nothing seemed to be like weird lines where they didn't belong. So, all right. Now to get out of full screen mode, I just hit escape. That gets me out of full screen mode. Now, if I do want them all the same, all right, for instance, like if I go to Photoshop and I go to file open and I open all those crazy files, right? So I'm going to go to file open. I'm going to open up every single one of these so you can see what happens. And I'm going to go over the pixels on top so you can see what's happening, and we're just gonna hit OK. We don't care about any of that. Just hit OK. Just open it. That's all we want. It's because I'm bringing them in from Illustrator, so it really wants to. All right. So this is image size going across, right? So if I go to image size, it is 858 width, and the resolution is only 72. So I'm gonna write that down real quick. So 858 width, and the resolution is 72. All right, I'm gonna hit cancel. So then I'm gonna go to the next file. I don't know why I turned black and white. I wasn't paying attention, so who knows. So I'm gonna go image size, and this resolution is 300. That was probably why it was so big, and it was 250 going across pixels. I'm gonna hit cancel. I'm just writing it down so I get an idea of where we're at. Image size. This was 1788, and this was 150. All right, so we're just going to do a couple, so this way you can see. So we're going to go with that one as an answer. So image size, the pixels going across was, no, let's find the, you know what, we'll find the title page. Where's that guy? Title page. Well, I have no idea what happened there when I brought that in. I probably should have paid attention to all those things I just told you hit OK to, because I probably would have wanted the full page. And when it brought it in, it probably asked me to crop it, and I probably just hit yes. So that's okay, whatever. So the image going across, the image size going across is, we'll do this one. That's 300. We're going to change that, to 150, and we're going to make sure all of them are 150. Going to 150 resolution. You can do even 72, but I think 150 is fine. Just in case you want to do something different with it. Going across is 1119 pixels, right? I'm gonna put an asterisk next to that. And I'm gonna hit OK. And I'm gonna see this in a different file. I'm gonna go to File, Save As. And we're gonna do it into Test Acrobat, that's correct. But we're gonna actually create a new folder in that folder. So if I can do that, Test 2A, okay? That's inside that Acrobat folder. We're gonna call it Untitled 2, and we're gonna call it a JPEG. All right, let's see. I'll only do that, we'll do the couple. Let me close this one off so we know that one's done. Don't save it. I'm going to come over to this one. I'm going to go to image size now. I want my stuff to stay in proportion, so I want to make sure this lock is on. So that was 1119 going across, and this is supposed to be 150. So I'm going to hit 1119 going across, which will automatically make the height, you know, whatever size is in proportion. And I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I am going to save it as a JPEG also in my new folder. Hit save, hit OK. And let me find another one. I'm not going to do that one because I have no clue what happened to that one. Also, I didn't read it, you know, small details. All right, image size. This one is really much smaller. I'm going to put it up to 150 resolution, and I'm going to change the size to be 1119 going across. And I'm going to hit OK. All right, and I'm going to go to File, Save As. Of course, my image is now messed up, but it doesn't matter. I mean, as long as you make them all the same, you can put black borders around stuff to make them the same. If you don't want your image to become warped looking. All right, so anyway, I'm going to go to Save As, and I'm going to go to the new folder, this one, hit Save. Okay, JPEG. Okay. I'm going to go back to the Acrobat right here. It used to be a red logo, now it's black and white. All right, so I'm going to go back to Tools. I'm going to hit Combine Files, okay? Add Files, and I'm going to go to my new test files. I made the tops the same. Oh, what did I do with the other? I did 3 at 4, but anyway, we'll just do these 2 for now. I have no clue what I did with the other one. I just saved it in the wrong location, apparently. I'm going to hit Add Files, and bring this guy to the front, and I'm just going to hit Combine, okay? And what should happen is when I scroll down, see the top? Okay. And okay, when I scroll, why doesn't it let me scroll? Okay, you see the tops are all the same. Nothing gets smaller. I mean, smaller in length, yes, but not smaller in width. So it looks much neater. All right, so it's nicer when it's neater, right? So if you can get to that point, that's great. If you can make everything the same, some of your images might be smaller, and you might, instead of making it larger, you may not be able to get to 1119 or 2000, whatever it is that across that you want. All right, so what you might have to do is put a black border around some of them and place your image neatly in the middle like you would do in an old school slide. Like your image is now centered, you know, with all in the same exact, I guess, proportions for each image. So you could do something like that. Because you see when I did that, I cut this off, but I mean, it was all fine because it was just an example. So when I go to View and I hit full screen mode, and I scroll down, everything's really much nicer, right? It's all the same, you know, well, except this one is kind of longer. I'm not sure what I did there, but this one, these 2 are exactly the same length. This one, the width is a little bit different. Yeah, it's supposed to be the same. Maybe, I don't know what I did. But anyway, I'd have to go back and check because maybe I didn't make it 150. Well, yeah, we can go take a look at that real quick, but it should be the same, and it's not that bad. It's way neater than the other one was, right? This one, when we went through it, look at this. This is a disaster. I mean, if the person who is receiving this opens it and they don't open it in full screen mode, this isn't very nice for them to look at, you know, so keep that in mind. Now, if this is the level that you're at right now, or as long as you're just getting stuff in, then this is acceptable. But if you feel like you go ahead and, you know, make everything the same, because eventually when you go for, you know, put your stuff in for jobs and things like that, some people ask for 25 slides like this. You don't want to be messy like this. So you want them to be as close as possible going all the way across. So let's find the other one. This one was frog. Let's go back to Photoshop. All right, let's go see what happened there. I'm gonna go to File, Open. I'm gonna see what happened to this guy real quick. No, he was right, 1119. So, and the other 2 were File, Open. I think this makes it, I don't know, it makes it the title one. So image size, yep, same, 1119 all the way across, okay? So if I open that frog one, no clue where he's at. Remember how he's a different size. So I go to image, image size, I go ahead and type in 150 resolution at the bottom, because it does matter. Right now, this made this huge up here, and that's not really what I want. I want them all just be the same for the fact that I'm sending it to somebody, and some companies will ask you to make them all the same, so keep that in mind, all right? You want this stuff to look neat, hit OK. File, save as, because maybe I didn't finish this yet, and I already put everything together, right? So I'm going to save it on my computer. I'm going to save it to JPEG. All right, so now I'm going to go back to Acrobat DC. Where is he? There he is. It's black now. It messes me up. All right, so I'm going to go save this one to File, Save As, okay? We're going to do Test A. That sounds good to me. Test Final. And when you go to save it as a file name, save it as your name, midterms, and maybe the course name or something like that. All right, so I'm going to hit Save. Now, I want to add stuff to this, so I am going to go to close this off. Yeah, don't save it, no. I'm going to go to Tools, okay? And I'm going to hit Combine Files again. And I'm going to hit Add Files, all right? And I know I already completed this PDF, and I really liked it. And I'm just going to add this frog one onto the end of it. So I'm going to select these two guys, hit Add Files, make sure this is in front, my frog's behind, and I hit Combine, okay? And then when I go through it, scroll through it, frog's already added, right? So if I go to View, and look, it was neat. It's all kind of, well, it's kind of smaller. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Yeah, it's not bad. It's much neater than it was before, right? I feel like it is. All right, so if I go to View, and I go to full screen, just scrolling through. Even though it's a little bit smaller, it's not so bad, right? It just feels like it's neater. What's happening is the elongation issue. See, this is longer, so it's making it proportionate. So only because I made the top all the same. Now, if I made them all the same all the way around, then they should all be, you know, much better off. So for instance, if let me get out of here, let me show you. I'm only do a couple to keep it, you know, quicker demo. All right, I'm gonna go back to Photoshop, for instance, okay? We're gonna take this guy and see how he's longer than everybody else. So I'm gonna go to Image, Canvas Size, okay? And right now, this is the canvas size, and every canvas I get is gonna be black in the background. So I'm gonna say this is 10 across by 10 down. Every single image I'm gonna make that, okay? And I'll make sure my image is in the middle by selecting this, and the background right now is black, which is I want. So I want it to be like a slide. All right, so I'm gonna go to File. Actually, it's gonna still look black. Well, it doesn't matter, whatever. All right, so save on my computer. We're gonna save this in a new folder called Test 3. Hit Create. Hit Save. Hit OK. All right, this one I'm gonna do the same thing. Image canvas size. I'm gonna change it to be 10 by 10. Hit OK. So that's why you want to open them, because you want to make sure they look good together. Like that first one I did was kind of more sloppy, or these are close. They're not perfect, but they're close, right? So we're gonna hit save, hit OK. Oops, image canvas size, what am I doing? All right, canvas size, right? Wrong folder. Test 3. That should be enough for now, right? So let's go back to Acrobat. And I am gonna get rid of this guy for now. We're not gonna save it. I don't need to save it. Go back to tools, go back to combined files. I'm gonna select all the new files I just made that are all in test 3. They should all be 10 by 10. That should have helped out a little bit. The problem is they're black, so I'm not really sure you're gonna see much of it. I mean, you're gonna see a difference maybe, but I don't know. Anyway, so it may not make that much of a difference. It would if your images were, like if this guy was a little bigger. I mean, you basically making them all identical. Let's hit it, combine. All right, so when I go down, everything is identical. Even if I zoom out all the way down, everything's identical. They're all the same square. It is much neater looking. All right. So if I go to view, the problem is in view full screen, the background's black, so you're not going to see the difference there. But you get the idea. I'm making them all kind of the same. So if I go to view full screen, you know, this is in the center at least, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. And it's not like huge. You can tell that they're all the same all the way through. So it is neater, you know. So it's something to think about if you feel like you can get to that point. When you're done, just go File, Save As. And you save it to whatever folder you want. And then you upload it to one of the folders I'll leave for you, or you can you could present it. I do want it. And this is going to be a smaller file size than submitting each one of your individual files, okay? So here you can submit your ideas, your sketches, your finished projects, or works in progress, that type of thing. All right, I hope this was helpful for you.